Hello, everyone. Today is another update for my stock portfolio. This is my stock journey. I know previously, last time I left off, I had done a few trades throughout the day. Right. So just whenever opportunities present themselves, and this is, an easy way to do it is, whatever you're looking at, it's pretty easy to set up alerts on, whichever trading platform you're working on. In my case, I'm using Robinhood, but you're able to use, different brokerages and set up those trading alerts, which are very helpful so that if it hits a target price for a stock that you're interested in, then you're able to buy. Let's say it dips below a certain price, or if you're a momentum trader and it goes up a certain price, and then you want to get in and get out. That's also, kind of, viable strategy. So the last time we discussed it, I was in McDonald's. So I had exited out of my position of SOFI, I believe. And I was in McDonald's. So what happened, not today, or sorry, not Wednesday, but Tuesday, was that thankfully, so I believe as soon as the market opened, SoFi went back down to, I believe it was somewhere under $7. I think it was like 6.94, 6.92. At that point, it was a good price for me again to get back into it. So I sold my McDonald's at a loss, and then just bought back SoFi. I bought back 125. Actually, let's take a look at it. Here we can see. Let's take a look at it. Let's go back to show more. There it is. So you can see here, what did I do on the 11th, which was Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. I went ahead and bought at 6.95. So I got back in at 6.95. And I sold 100 contracts at 10 cents a piece, or 125 contracts at 10 cents a piece. So the maximum amount I could have gained from that deal is 10 cents from contract expiration per or $10 per contract. That's 1,250. And then also another 5 cents here. So 15 cents, but for 125 contracts. So that's 15 times 125. That was about 1875, right? That being said, I didn't wait until the full amount. So this morning I went ahead and saw that SoFi appreciated quite a bit, so it went up, right? It's actually, I think it hit as high as 739 today. I sold it when it was at market open for about, so I always try to get up at 6:30. I'm always kind of ready and available to kind of take a look at the market. It's kind of nice fun habit to have, and it helps promote kind of getting up early. But I went ahead and sold my shares roughly, let's call it at 718. 718, and I bought back my contract. So first I bought back my contracts at 23 cents. Remember, I had sold them at 10, but I bought them back at 23. The reason being is that I'm still capturing most of the profit. So even though it's just from Tuesday to Wednesday, right? Because I got them back on Tuesday, sold them this morning. Let's take a look at how much that was. Because technically in the 4 days, I would have gotten roughly $1,800. But how much did I really get in this case? So I lost 13 cents here, or $13 per contract here from the actual contracts. Well, what about the price appreciation? This went from 6.95, let's call it, to even though the majority was at 7.19, just to make it simple, let's say 7.18. So 6.95 to 7.18, how much appreciation is that? That is 23 cents, right? So that's a 23-cent increase, but I lost 13 cents. So 23 minus the 13, that's 10 cents appreciation. Now that doesn't sound like a lot per share, but 10 cents per share, $10 per contract. So I was able to get the 10. So out of the 15 cents I could have possibly gotten, and one day I was able to get the 10 cents of it. So it's quite a bit of appreciation. So I was able to secure $1,200 of profit. Afterwards, everything was up this morning. Typically, when everything goes up because of the market goes up, right? I think there was good news on some kind of labor statistics. Then the S&P, as it goes up, the whole kind of set of generally, many of the stocks within the S&P also will go up. That's not true for all cases, but generally they'll move up. And so as a result, I don't like buying when it goes up because you want to buy low, sell high. So I just don't like to buy on up days. I like to sell on up days, and then I like to be cautious and kind of wait it out until it falls. That said, here was PayPal today, or yes, Wednesday. And what happened was it shot up in the morning, right? So where's market open? So it was the 12th, right here. This is market open. You can see it got up to almost $66. It was starting to go down. So then I actually bought it at 65.02. So you can see it right here, 65.02. And then I also sold contracts on it. So I bought 12 contracts worth, or 1,200 shares, right? Right here, about 1,200 shares. And then I went ahead and I sold the following contracts. I sold, let me go back to here. There we go. So I sold 12 contracts at 140. Now the thing is, I bought it at 65, but I sold it at a strike price of 64, which means I sold it in the money. So since I bought it at 65.02, but let's just call it 65 to make the math simple, I'm willing to sell it $1 cheaper than I bought it. So I actually lose $1, but they paid me $1.40. What that means is my net profit per contract would have been 40 cents, $40 per contract. So if I have $40 per contract times the 12, right, that's the $480 that would have been profit. However, PayPal kept going down and down and down. It went as low as $63. So then what I did was, as soon as it hit a pretty low price, the contract, because it's going in the opposite direction, it's losing value, losing value, losing value. So what I ended up doing is I bought it back this morning for, let's call it $40 a piece. So I profited that dollar. So I ended up actually profiting the dollar in the sense that I bought it for 65. I profited the dollar. So it's almost like I bought the stock at $64. That's okay. So I bought it for 64 effectively at this point. That's my new cost basis. And then afterwards, I went ahead and sold the contract for the strike of $65 for $16. So for a strike price of 65 this Friday, I went ahead and sold each piece for 16 bucks. So 16 bucks doesn't seem like a lot, but it's comes out to about $200. So 6 times 12, it's nothing major, but it's nice, $200 just to hold on to it. So what that means is if it hits 65 or above, I get those 200 bucks, plus I get the price appreciation all the way to 65. And I mentioned that my new cost basis is 64. So that $1 is 1,200, because I have 1,200 shares, that's $1,200 profit. It's pretty nice. Now, if it doesn't, right, if it just reaches $64, well, I effectively would have netted 200 bucks. If it's below 64, then that means I'm in the red a little bit, right? That's okay. I can go ahead and just sell those covered calls once more for next week. PayPal, I think, is it's a decent stock. I don't see it in the long term, just generally speaking, just because there's a lot of kind of payment processors out there. A lot of competition within the fintech space, and its growth hasn't been anything kind of particularly nice. So I'm not too keen on it. However, it's all right. I think it's currently heavily penalized in terms of growth, and for that reason, I feel pretty comfortable with its price range. Currently, its current PE value, right, 16. So it's one that I'd be willing to put myself in a short-term basis on contracts, sell contracts on it, make a profit. It also has a pretty nice, what should I say, implied volatility. So you can actually, what should I say, you can actually make quite a bit selling contracts on it. And when I say quite a bit, it's not like massive profit, but it's like a percent or two a week. That's a lot, like maybe a percent. So for example, let's say I go to June 21st, which is next Friday. Right now it's currently sitting at I think after hours it's 63.71. Let's call it 64. So if you sell the call at $64, right now you could get it for $93 as a premium. That's pretty nice. So given the 12 contracts I have on it, 12 times 90, that's a little over 1,000, right? So, you know, that's a pretty nice premium. So that's just a little bit to think about. But I hope that you enjoyed this recap. Once again, I always do my best to kind of be, kind of give updates when I can. It's been a bit of a busy week, lots of work to do. So for that reason, I wasn't able to give the update sooner. But I hope that you're enjoying this video. Like as I said, I'm going to go ahead and just document this journey, just because I have a lot of fun doing it, and it's just nice to do. And I also frequently watch other kind of people on YouTube who kind of post their stock journey, kind of talk about fundamentals of their stock selection, and like specifically for SoFi. Also the Bitcoin miners, but specifically for SoFi, there's a lot of frustrated people at the moment. I tend to love it. I'm waiting for SoFi to get back down. I know on Friday, the market makers are going to probably depress it. So that's when I would want to get back in. So if SoFi ends up dropping either today or tomorrow, I'm getting back in SoFi because it's a solid company. It's just kind of being part of it's being shorted, and the other part of it is there's retail's just frustrated with it, so they're getting out. So I think it's perfect for me. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I'll send up another video hopefully today and also for Friday, and for the weekend I'll try to give a more prolonged analysis of what I try to do, just little things that I look for in my stock picks, or little thing why I do the things that I do. So why I choose covered calls over cash secured puts and so forth. So thank you so much. Have a great night.